wonder there's no light. Goodness gracious, Mommy forgot to push the button. Oh, a mummy. I'm a mummy to two beautiful kitty cats. See, I'm their mummy. I'm their pet parent. And somebody gave me this, it's called a cat, well, it's a combination, kitty cat house, cat scratch post. It's got little, you can run in one door and out the other if you were a kitten. But if you're not a kitten and a mama cat, there's a mama cat. She's as old, oh, she's older than me. She's 140 years, kitty cat years old. Now you divide that by 7 and you'll find her true age. I think, yeah, I think 140. What's 140 divided by 7, Chris? Alexander, hey, tell Mom. Do the math. Help Mommy here. I'm coming off a big, mad, what do you call it, that new thing that occurred over the past few days where she was, that was awful. It was horrible here. You know, it's hard for the poverty-stricken, you know. It's very difficult to survive in the heat. So we should be very, very wary about other people around us and try and help one another, you know. Not one person asked me how I was doing in the community where I live. And, you know, I would say that I'm living in the wrong community, but it's the community that I happen to live in. It wasn't my choice, believe me. It was decided for me, and it's hard when other people decide where you're going to live. And, you know, it's very nice when you can stay in your own community, and it's horrible to have to move away and leave everything behind. And I've had to do this in my life too. And it's not easy. So we should be more empathetic towards one another and try not to judge. Take it from me. I've been there. I've done that. And I'm no better than anyone else. Are we, darling? Are we, sweetheart, Sylvester cat? Little darling baby. You're my boy. If only kitty cats could tell a story about their life, eh? You know, kitty cats, they have a story of their own. And I'm not judging any cats, no. But in the community where I live, I'm not allowed to put food out for them. I'm not allowed to do this, and I'm not allowed to do that. I'm very restricted. And it would be so nice to have freedom. And it would be so nice to be free and not have anybody tell me what to do or where to go and what time to wake up and what time to go to sleep. But we have to obey the laws of the land. And we cannot live in a fantasy world. And that is how I feel, personally. And everybody has a voice, V-O-I-C-E, voice. And we need to be strong. And we cannot change the world, but we can change ourselves. We can only change ourselves. Right, darling? Sylvestre. Sylvestre. Darling, sweetheart. He's a lovely cat. Oh, Christina, thank you for the audio. That was so nice. I thought my daughter attacked me, but she didn't. She wanted to help me when it was the big heat wave yesterday. And I was just acting so strangely. And that is very common. But I didn't know because I've never suffered through a heat wave. Heat wave, all one word. Heat wave. And I'll remember this day the rest of my life. And I'll remember it for another reason too, that it took me 77 years to stand my ground. It was a silly thing, but I've never felt confident enough to stand my ground. I always felt less than throughout my whole life. I did not feel important. And that's not a good way to feel. Is it, Sylvestre? No. He felt less than, but he's a very gallant cat. He respects the senior kitty cat. And I remember a long time ago, I saw a documentary about a cat community. And he was an elderly Englishman. And he had a beautiful big property. And the whole of his property was cats. So I guess he had a lot of money because it costs a lot of money to feed animals. But he was observing them, and I don't know who he was. I wish I knew his name. I know for sure I would find the story on YouTube.com. I would find that story, a documentary, and I would be able to watch it again now that I'm retired or semi-retired or partially retired. I don't know yet. I still work every day, but with the government I am retired, considered retired. But it would be nice. I keep busy. Everybody keeps busy. It's important to keep busy. And what was I saying? Anyway, yes, the kitty cats there is a pecking order, sort of. And it's very interesting to study cat communities, because cat communities and the way they interact with one another can teach humans how to act or behave or treat one another. And it's very important to be kind. It's very important to be loving and respect one another, and that is what most people teach their children nowadays. The younger generation are trying to make a change, and that I see every day when I turn the TV on, and I understand very clearly that it is very important to love one another, to be kind to one another, and care for one another. That's the word. When I phoned my friend in, where does he live? He lives up in the Okanagan in, I forget the name of the place, Summerland, because I am from British Ontario. That's my origin. That's my country. Canada is a very, very huge country. Oh my goodness. It would take, if you walked from one side, from one ocean to the other ocean, if you can visualize that. If you were walking from the Vancouver Island across Canada to Newfoundland, that would take you a long, 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 long time. And I only know of one human that did that. I think it's only one human has ever done that. And that human's name is Terry Fox. TERRY space FOX, like the animal fox. Very easy name to remember. And I remember when he jogged past my little wooden house. And I believe that was in 1981, but it could have been sooner. And I lived on a street called Garden, and it was right on the corner of Venables and Garden Drive. And I'll never forget that day. Some days we forget. That's okay. But you know, when you get older and older and older and older, and you live in the world a long, 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 long time, pardon me, I just got the vaccine last Friday at 2:30 p.m. And it was a very exciting day for me to get a vaccine. I haven't had, well, it's not really the kind of vaccine I got when I was a child in school. We had to get smallpox. That was a real vaccine. A real, truly, it made a big scab on your arm, and you carried that scar the rest of your life. But my mother was a nurse, and she said, no, don't give my little girl, I was 5, don't give that little girl that vaccine in her arm. Put that vaccine on my little girl's left leg. And that is where the vaccine went. And I was so angry and scared, and I started crying. I didn't yell at her or wave my fists, because I've never done that in my life anyway, but I wasn't very happy about that vaccine, but I'll never forget. I can visualize that right now in my mind. There's a picture of my mother and me, and forcing me, and I'm running away, and no, you're not going to give me, oh gosh, what kids do. They didn't have the same, they didn't have the same, what do you call it, finesse or caring as the younger generation has today. Back then, Pardon me. I guess it's the I'm talking too much. And when I woke up in the morning, I couldn't talk at all. I had laryngitis. Oh, because I was crying so much yesterday. It was so awful. The heat. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it was a terrible heat wave. And many, many people have lost their lives to this heat. And to make matters worse, last week, some pretty horrible things have happened in our province, in our country, and I feel angry because, for one thing, nobody taught me that when I was a child about those things. So, but it's we can change the history books. We cannot change what's done has been done, and eye for an eye is not the way to go. I'm telling you, as an old woman who has never been involved in politics, and I respect my indigenous people. I respect you very much. In fact, when I was going back to school at age 50, I was a very poor white woman. I guess I don't know how to describe myself, but the first thing I did was go to OLI, Open Learning Institute. And I was so poor, I had to apply for a student loan. Pardon me. And one of my children co-signed that student loan, my oldest daughter, as a matter of fact, and offered me an education. And I didn't hesitate to accept her offer. And I enrolled and started going to school. And I already bought a computer, and I had a a difficult time learning it. But a friend of mine from Ontario, my country woman, if you will, and she happened to be a teacher at a business college not far from my home. And she got me started with one of the computers that the school had discarded because the new computers had arrived, so they threw all the old computers in the garbage. And that's a mistake too. They should be donated to people who do not have computers, like me. But I learned a lot in my life, and I learned how to build a computer myself. And with the help of my computer store, my local computer store, and they helped me get started. People I met with my husband. No, my husband passed away. No, I wished I did have a husband because I would. Oh, it would have been so much easier in my life had I had a man in my life, a husband. But my husband died, and it's not easy struggling to raise children. It's not easy to feed your children. It's not easy. It is not easy. So I can relate very well to my indigenous people because I lived a life like them. And I celebrate Canada's birthday because I am Canadian and I must obey the laws of my land. So I choose to celebrate Canada Day. And God bless Canada. God bless my country. And God bless America too, because they celebrate their birthday and I celebrate our birthday, and we're all celebrate a big birthday together. There are so many tragedies in the world. I'm not selfish to share a birthday party. I cannot be selfish. I am not selfish. And I do not want my children to be selfish, or my grandchildren, or my great grandchildren, or my great 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 grandchildren, and nieces and nephews. And as a matter of fact, I have an indigenous nephew. He's my brother's child. I do. I have an indigenous nephew. But my brother has died, and he grew up without a father. And it's not easy to grow up without a father. Children need their fathers. They need their real fathers, the fathers that gave them life. Think about it. That is what I believe. That's my heart, not your heart. That's my heart. And Heather Hopkins does have a voice. Yes, I do. And today is the first time that I realized, not today, yesterday, to be exact, the day of the heat wave. I had laryngitis and I couldn't talk after yesterday. I almost didn't make it, but I made it. Thank you, God, and thank you to my children who took care of me. Thank you. But most of all, I thank God. I thank my higher power, my creator, my higher power, because it wasn't my time. It just wasn't my time. It was stay on earth, little lady. I'm a petite person. And when the time comes, but you're not going to know. It's going to be a secret because nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I'm getting tired now. I must say goodnight. I'm in Sylvestre. 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 Oh, and that's DustyRosa. Isn't she a sweetheart? Dusty, she's a deaf, blind 20-year-old. She's 20. And we've had her for 18 years. And she's had a very, very good vet over most of her lifetime. Well, all of her lifetime that she's been with me. And she's doing quite well. And she went to a doctor's appointment when, just a minute now, I had a tooth pulled. She had to go to in February, a few months ago, February. I can't. I'm too tired. That's me above the litter box. I kind of look like Lady Diana, didn't I, at one time? But, people don't change. People do change. That's DustyRosa. That's DustyRosa. And he's gone. Hey, Sylvestre. Oh, I guess he got jealous. No, but the kitty cat, the young kitty cat, respects the old kitty cat. I realized that yesterday in the heat wave. And I thought about the cat community documentary. I must find that. I must find it. If you find it, shoot me an email. Thank you.